Alright guys, just want to put together a quick video to talk about the Nintendo Switch Standard versus the Nintendo Switch OLED. Just talk about some of the differences and also describe what you get for the additional $50. So the Nintendo Switch Standard is currently retailing at $299 and the Nintendo Switch OLED is retailing at $349. So $50 difference. And as you can see, they're comparable in size, aside from the actual the OLED dimensions, the visible size of the OLED. It has a vibrant 7-inch OLED panel, where the Standard has a 6.2-inch LCD. Whereas the Switch Lite, which I don't have one here today, is 5.5 inches. So as you can tell, the OLED has trimmed down the bezels. Hopefully you can see in this view. On the OLED, you have the entire screen that you can see. It fills up the entire space of the panel. Whereas in the LCD, you have these wider bezels on the Standard, which slightly restricts your view. They both still display at 720p. Even though there was some conversation about the OLED being hopefully 4K, it's still 720p presentation. The OLED is 0.1 inch longer, which is hard to tell in this view, than the standard Switch. Though it's 1 ounce different in weight. I actually weighed the two units, and it feels different in hand. Honestly, it's something about the weight distribution between the OLED versus the standard. The standard just feels lighter, just feels better in the hand. But that's offset by the additional viewing area of the OLED. Another upgrade is the kickstand itself. So on the standard Switch, you've got this little kickstand here. It's not a whole lot to it. You can see that. Not a whole lot to the kickstand. Whereas the OLED has the upgraded kickstand. You can see here, just like that. It goes across the entire back of the Switch itself. So it definitely feels better. It's more adjustable. The kickstand on the standard is more just like a flicky kickstand, kind of like on a bicycle. Whereas the panel on the back of the OLED covers the entire back panel of the Switch. The OLED also has new speakers, though I couldn't tell any discernible difference in gaming. I had two different games that I was playing to see if I could tell the difference between the OLED and the standard, METROID Dread and Mario Odyssey. And they both sound very good. Very good product. You can see over here the speakers on the back of the standard. So docked play is still at 1080p. That's true of both units. Like I said, handheld is 720p. We do gain an Ethernet port on the dock, and that helps with better transfers. You know, depending on your environment with your Wi-Fi. The standard doesn't have an Ethernet connection in the dock. The OLED does. So that allows you to connect the docking to a wired Ethernet connection. There's no performance upgrade in the chipset for either one. It's the same NVIDIA custom Tegra processor and the same amount of RAM, internal RAM. So both units perform about the same. Games felt the same. Metroid Dread loaded about the same. Mario Odyssey also loaded about the same. And then the playthrough, the cutscenes, the performance was about the same. So no big change there. So really, and I'll show a depiction of some of the video. We have, it's deeper reds, darker blacks. You see that in the OLED. Whereas the blacks in the standard look more gray. So I would say, just for my trial over the last couple days, I would spend the $50 and go with the OLED. This is actually my unit here. which this is the first Switch I've owned, so I'm used to that view. I'm used to that space and display. The standard is a friend of mine loaned me this one, and I was really surprised though how enjoyable the standard is. I mean, it's as immersive in handheld for sure. If you did not have an OLED, or if you did not have a Switch, I should say, then I would recommend go ahead and start with, if you can get your hands on it, start with the OLED. It's worth the $50 additional. If you already have a Switch standard, I don't know that I would go and buy a whole nother Switch just for the additional viewing space on the OLED. So now that we've covered that, let's go ahead and cut to the game cave and see what some of the video looks like, the video feedback on the games. Thanks, guys. So it almost already appears that the dark is not black. It's more of a gray on the LCD. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Seems kind of noticeable to me. Yeah, so as you can see, the blacks are very black. Very pronounced.
Super Mario Odyssey!
So Mario Odyssey, I believe, is a launch game. Looks really good. Get an idea. There you go, Mario. Good job. That's a good view. So a quick test there. They really want you to use the
Super
Joy-Con.
Mario Odyssey!
Alright. So to me, the reds are noticeably redder. And I forgot that I'm on a different world in this, on the OLED. So we'll get to see. I haven't even started playing this already yet. I'm trying to get an idea. Mario Odyssey is new to me. It's a great game though. A buddy of mine let me borrow this one. I'm gonna go buy my own copy today. I think it's on sale, 40 bucks. So I don't know if you can tell or not. It's still 720p. It's a beautiful game on both systems. Thanks, Mario.
Please hang up and try again.